Hello, friends. I just wanted to record a video teaching by Eckhart. This is something we came across during group meditation on Friday, which is 2 days ago. Today is Sunday. And I felt like it was like a mind-blowing moment when I listened to this. Eckhart is kind of explaining how we should not label things. And there are quite a few videos of his, talks of his, where he has explained how not to label or why not to label. But to me, the clarity with which the instruction was given in this video is so incredible that I wanted to capture it and offer it to everyone here on the Facebook group. Please feel free to join us for group meditation. We do watch an Eckhart video for 20 minutes during group meditation. It is extremely helpful. There is always a different interpretation when you watch a video with a group and actually discuss it. So here we go. Let's watch the video.
At some point we talked about that as a meditation method, so to speak, the simplest meditation method to ask, who am I? And of course that is the most vital question, and none, whatever concepts are rising in your mind about who you are not who you are. So the wonderful liberation is to go beyond a conceptual sense of self. And this is not only liberating to yourself, so to speak, but you liberate other people from imposing on them also a conceptual sense of self. This is a dreadful thing to do to other human beings, because you no longer recognize the essential aliveness and your essential oneness with that so-called other human being. You no longer recognize that. To you then, the other being, human being, becomes reduced to a concept in your head. And so you have a set of beliefs about who that other human being is. And why are you doing that to another human being? Because before you did it to yourself, and you continuously do it to yourself. Then you cannot not do it to another human being, imposing a conceptual identity onto others. And so that's an enormous improvement that then happens in relationships when you do not come from a conceptual sense of self and therefore no longer impose a conceptual sense of self on others, a set of judgments, a set of criticisms of who they are. That's such a normal thing to do. It doesn't mean you don't see certain behavior patterns in another human being. It may well be that you see that the person who knocks on your door and wants to sell you something, what he's trying to sell you is a fake, and he's trying to tell you that it is genuine. So you're not going to say in your mind, okay, I must not believe that he's an honest person. No, you don't have to believe anything. And here comes something in, that there's a knowing for which you don't need concepts. You can know if a person tries to deceive you, you know it without having to call him a thief or a manipulator. You see it, and that's all. You see what behavior pattern governs this person, and then you also see there is something deeper than that behavior pattern. You don't react as if that behavior pattern were the ultimate reality of that human being. And that's a wonderful thing that you can do for another human being, is not to act as if the behavior they manifest were their ultimate reality, because it isn't. And sometimes the miracle happens that you can free, without consciously doing it, not thinking it, I'm going to free you, but by being in that state of consciousness, you can free, sometimes it happens, you can free a person from their limited unconscious behavior patterns, because you are not acknowledging it. You see it, but you don't acknowledge it. If you acknowledge it, if you impose judgments, you reduce the human being to something that is not, but by doing it to another, you do it to yourself. And this is perhaps why Jesus said, judge not so that you are not judged, because you're judging, you're always yourself. And so in the Course in Miracles, there's a beautiful line. That was the first line I ever heard about A Course in Miracles when it came to England in 1980 something. I saw this strange thing. People said, Course in Miracles. Said, oh no, another weird thing has come from California. And of course, it turned out it wasn't from California, it came from New York, but was actually written at Columbia University, would you believe that? And this person, I asked the person, have you ever heard of this weird thing called A Course in Miracles? And the person said, I don't know much about it except one sentence, and that is, what you perceive in another, you strengthen in yourself. So perceive here means what you focus on in the other. If you focus on the other is dishonest, if the other is unconscious and some behavior in the other, what you focus on, you strengthen in yourself. If that becomes your reality, it draws you into the same. So here, freedom then comes from not imposing conceptual identities on others, which you can only do if you no longer impose or believe in or derive your identity from conceptual sense of self in your own mind. And so you end up, of course, with something that the ego does not particularly like, because the opinions that you have about yourself are becoming quite insubstantial or weak. In other words, you're beginning to have fewer and fewer opinions about who you are. That's being attuned with the Tao. And so when then people ask you about how do you see yourself, as I have occasionally once or twice have been asked by people who came to interview me, so how do you see yourself? Well, I don't know. Not in any particular way. I gave very unsatisfying answers to these questions. I don't know how I don't see myself. If I saw myself as a great spiritual teacher, that would be the beginning of delusion, because it would be the beginning of identification with a form identity. If I saw myself as a successful author now and derived some satisfaction from it, yes, it's fulfilling.
So I love that part that he talks about how not to make a conceptual identity of another. And I think in another talk of his, and I posted a video on that, is where he talks about being caught in a box. So it almost is like if we don't impose a conceptual identity on another, that this person is unconscious, this person is a liar, this person is somebody who betrays me, my partner is somebody who is lazy. Whatever conceptual identity we put on another, we strengthen it in ourselves, that we ourselves have a conceptual identity of who we think we are instead of coming from that formlessness, that pure presence. What we are doing is we have a conceptual identity of who we think we are, and then now we are judging another. And this could be anybody. It could be our partner, it could be children, it could be relatives, it could be coworkers, it could be anybody in politics, leaders, no matter who. So just to know that all that is required is to have that presence and allow whatever it is to be, who it is to be as they are. And he almost says, or not the question of almost, he says that we liberate them. There could be a potential when we allow that spaciousness of presence that we could actually liberate them from their self, that they may not act. If they were supposedly somebody who is lazy, a partner that was lazy, or a partner that was unconscious, they may no longer be unconscious. A certain degree of awareness may arise in another if we are in that depth of presence. So the pointer always is that we are lacking presence if there is something going on in our world that is chaotic or not something that we would like, that is to our liking. So we are co-creating. It almost is, as far as law of attraction is concerned, we are co-creating the present moment of the unconscious person or the liar or the thief through our judgment. I hope you all love it. Thank you so much. Please share, like, and comment on the video. Thank you so much for watching. Super grateful. Thank you. Bye.